Hi, everyone. Tanya Hertz here, Director of the Rec Innovation Lab. Just wanted to talk to you really quickly about some of the classes that are part of the Rec Innovation Lab, part of the curriculum. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Congratulations on being accepted. We are so proud of you, and we know you're going to accomplish just great things. And I will share with you this PowerPoint. Look below the video in YouTube. You can see a link to this PowerPoint, and I highly recommend that you access that, because there are links in here to videos to watch, also links in here to resources that you can take advantage of. We are at the REC business incubator, community business incubator, that we're dedicated to the diversity, equity, inclusion of the founders and helping them to solve big problems in the world by launching those high growth ventures. And we do that by giving you a foundational understanding of the startup process. It's not just about building up your idea. If you think it's about prototyping and 3D printing and the 90% of your focus needs to be on getting your offering to market, you're not going to do well. And that's a big problem with a lot of other incubators out there, and why we really are able to do well, because we look at this holistically, which is the way that investors like to look at it. We look at your startup in terms of the business operations themselves, right? The startup operations. Do you have a manual? Do you have branding guidelines that you can share with strategic partners? Do you have your business licenses? Do you have your contracts in place? Investors want to know, do you have a company, right? Is there an org chart? Is there a code of conduct, code of ethics? We build all of that out. We also look at the digital marketing. We spend a lot of time on marketing your venture. Today, in this day and age, if you are thinking that marketing is anything but digital marketing, you're behind the times. So we spend a lot of time with the big five: Facebook, Insta, TikTok, YouTube is one of them, but for entrepreneurship, LinkedIn is it. And so we do a lot of our channel focus is on LinkedIn. It will be different for each of your startups if you're in different industries, but you still need to be in LinkedIn because you're also entrepreneurs. And then the remainder is focused on that actual offering, the product, the service, the technology, and getting that into the hands of the users and the buyers as quickly as possible. So every semester that you're at the REC, you will be doing these three things. There are additional focuses, topics that we cover, but these three topics are always covered, and they're critical. They're critical factors. I like to look at it as a stool, right? And if you look at each of the legs of the stool as one of those critical factors, it really helps when you're thinking about developing out your business, because if you develop any one of those legs too fast compared to the other two legs, your business will be wobbly. It will not have a strong foundation or support. It will fall over. So they need to be developed. They need to be developed simultaneously. Other ongoing learning that's covered in each of the four, and I say 4 semesters, we anticipate that you'll spend about 2 years in the program, not counting the summer semesters. And it could be longer, it could be less, but on average, it takes a while to start a startup. If you're coming to us without a lot of development done, 2 years is a pretty good recommendation. It's funny, I was looking at some of the data for other incubators and accelerators, and on average, if you were paying for an industry incubator, you're going to be spending over $100,000 in cash assets, plus you're going to be giving up equity of your company, anywhere from 6 to about 25%, depending on the accelerator incubator. We don't take any equity. We don't charge anything except for the $46 per unit. And those programs, they typically kick you out after anywhere from 6 to 12 months. We keep you as long as you need, right? You can take each of the 4 classes up to 4 times. So we're also going to be working on other continuous company development, those student learning outcomes surrounding each of those factors, plus other topics. You also get digital badges as you move through the program. We're implementing the pilot for the digital badges this semester, and I'm excited about it. So we talked a little bit about the importance of marketing, digital marketing. You'll be working with associates, you'll be working with rec teams to consistently post on your social media channels. You're expected to post on your primary marketing channel a minimum of 3 times per week, no less than 3 times per week. If you're not making progress, if you're not posting regularly, well, you're not building your legitimacy, you're not becoming a company, you're not getting closer to actually launching, and you're doing yourself just a massive disservice, and could be asked actually to leave the program. It's so important that you start establishing yourself as a company long before you ever have a product that you bring to market. If I Google your name, I want to find you, right? You also, every semester, you're improving your operating systems. You need internal documents for managing your company. Like I said, some of the contracts that you'll want to enact, you can't even do it without a manual. So we get those. We make sure that we're building them. And finally, there's that product, service, or tech development. We do bring in interns, associates to help you with this process. We essentially ensure that they either are receiving their course credit for the internship, or we pay them around $13, $14 an hour. You're also required, I should go back really quickly, you're required to pay attention to track and to share your key performance indicators that give you a clear picture of your performance success. And that's really, really important because investors want to see that, and it gives you a good way to share with others how successful you are. And we also want to make sure that you understand how you incorporate those key performance indicators into your SOPs, your standard operating procedures in the manual, right? Your manuals. You are working with mentors, minimum of 2 times a month, every other week. 4 times a month would potentially could be even better depending on what you're working on. You're always working on your pitches, your elevator pitches, your pitch decks, your one-liner pitches. You get very, very good at pitching. You have the opportunity to pitch to angel investors, to venture capitalists, to others, experts in the ecosystem who want to invest in your companies and want to give you feedback. And I set that up for all of you to do every single semester. You learn how to recruit, train, hire staff, to develop your own personal leadership skills. We do some self-assessments. We also look at very critical coping skills, stress management, negotiation, sales skills, all of the things that you need in order to be successful as an entrepreneur. And then finally, you need to learn how to fail. Failure is part of entrepreneurship, and it's nothing to shy away from. It's something to embrace. You will never walk if you don't learn to fall. And so we embrace those little falls as a learning tool to learn to get to the next step. We actually share them each week when we do our accountability check-ins with one another, and we celebrate them. I will say this too, just so you know, people prefer seeing your little wins and even your little losses, your failures on your marketing channels. They can get behind you when you say, I did this little thing, I did this, whatever it is. That doesn't have to be big. They like seeing that you're a human being. So in the first semester, it's G1. This is the Gazelle path because we're working towards getting you to become a Gazelle type business. So high growth, high value. And you're working on your customer discovery, talking to your potential customers, getting out of the building, creating a script, learning how to do customer discovery interviews. You'll start on the development of your MVP, but you don't necessarily have to have one by now. And you'll start building your systems, your SOPs, your all of your manuals, your operations manuals, and then you will have created your marketing channels, and you'll start posting 3 times a week minimum. As you get closer to launching, you should be posting 5 times a week. In G2, that's the second semester. It could be the second semester, depending on if you make progress. You can redo each of the semesters up to 4 times. or each of the segments. So you do all that continuous development that we talked about of the stool, the critical factors, plus you move forward in your customer discovery to get to the point where you're actually trying to get a commitment to buy from your customers so that you can prove that you have validated the market potential and that people want what you're selling. You don't have to get them to buy necessarily. You just have to get them to agree to buy. You continually build out that MVP. You create a schedule for your marketing in your branding. You create guidelines, like I said before. Expand on those SOPs so that we have lots and lots and lots of material that shows that you're a legitimate real company. And then this is the semester where you actually validate the price. So before this, you shouldn't be sharing any information about price, because chances are you just came up with the price by doing something sort of off the cuff, looking what somebody else is charging, and then I'll charge that, or a little bit more or a little less. We actually validate the price. So we do that this semester. In semester 3, or G3, Gazelle Path 3, is when you are actually measuring the value of your customers, the viral coefficient, or the customer lifetime value. So how much does it cost to acquire a customer and then keep a customer, right? You'll also be creating your financial projections in this section, and we wait to do this. You don't do this in the first 2 sections because it's tough when you have no numbers. So by now we should have some idea of what our numbers might look like, and so our projections are more realistic, and we can show that they're based in fact and in logic, even if we don't have any sales to report. And this is when we create our TAM, SAM, SOM, and we make sure that we're sharing this information in our pitch decks to investors and to others in such a way that they get it. And then doesn't make it look like, never say like, I'm going to get 50% market share, or I've seen so many things, but we talk about that as we go in. And then finally, that final semester is when you really show that, hey, I've done this all. I have a path to product market fit. And you can show it a number of different ways, and that you've pivoted all the necessary times, and all the critical assertions or assumptions that you've made are validated, and you can prove it, right? And that you have people actually using your MVP or agreed to use your MVP. You show that you have traction, okay? You do this all through a pitch deck, and at this point, you're ready to actually to either go into an accelerator program, or talk to investors, or if you are able to do it without investor money, you should be now looking at growth of your startup. Okay, so in the summer, we're a little bit shorter than those other semesters. So the summer is kind of a free semester. If you're taking a summer class, you can take that time to catch up if you have things that you haven't done in some of the other G paths. It's only 1 unit over the summer, where it's 3 in the rest of the semester. So maybe you might want to take a 129 class to get that, brush up on those basics. You might want to start your podcast. We have our podcast studio. You might want to try some new marketing campaign. It's up to you. We get a little creative over the summer, but make sure that you're using the resources and you are meeting all of the required times. Make sure that you're signed up on the Rec Connect, that you're making your appointments through the Rec Connect. You only get credit when you book appointments with your mentors, with me and the team, through the Rec Connect platform. Working on your pitches is something you do all the time. There's several different pitch structures. These are the main ones: your 1-line pitch, your 30-second, your 2-minute, and your formal pitch deck. Practice, practice, practice until those are just second nature. You should have each one of these recorded so that you can share them when somebody asks, and every single one of them shares that why you, why this, why now, right? Well, you're the right person to start this company in this time in history. And this is what you're starting because there's a significant pain point around that problem, or around that idea rather. And it's 1,000 times more about the execution than the idea. So don't be afraid to get that idea out of your head and into the real world where you can start working on it. We have a lot of pilot program, or a lot of innovative programs that we're piloting through the rec right now. the next iteration of Startup Quest, which is our alternate reality gamification. We're doing some pitch off competitions. We're doing a competition with Innovation City, many fun things. We have one of the Shark Tank judges is coming this semester. And on that one, there's a $15,000 prize. You have lots of resources, take advantage of them. You're not going to be able to take advantage of all of them every semester, but be strategic about those resources and take advantage of them while they're here. I'll give you an example. We had an amazing resource where we had coders and developers that we basically, through our partner, were able to provide you with, every startup could get a coder to code their website or their app or whatever you needed. And we paid for 150 hours for that. That program ended when COVID hit, and well, it was after COVID hit, but when we started to really see some financial issues. So while it's here, take advantage of it. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Here's some more of the resources. Follow that link to look more at them. Even on average, it's about $67,000 worth of resources that you get to take advantage of. Even if you're just taking advantage of part of them, it's so much more than any other program out there. So the summer classes the class times are different for every semester. Right now in the summer, I've sent out a doodle poll to figure out the class time. The link to that poll is here. You are, as soon as you get into this program, we want you connecting with those mentors. We have amazing partners, and you're going to be doing that, during lab hours and through the RecConnect platform. Every time we have lab hours, you need to come to lab hours for at least an hour, meet with your mentor, meet with the subject matter experts, meet with the rec team, take advantage of that time. And you also need to attend workshops every semester. We have, over the summer, it's 7 workshops per semester. It's typically about a workshop a week is what's required. And I know that's a lot of workshops. It's an 8-week course, 7 workshops. You only need to go to 4 of those workshops live. The rest of them you can do a recording of them. We've recorded so many amazing workshops, and they're useful, they're helpful. The topics are relevant to you starting your company, and they're great networking opportunities. They're great, they're wonderful. And you get to pick which ones you want to go to. Sign up now, sign up for them now, and reserve your spot. If you don't sign up, you don't get credit. I think this is going to be cool, the media related one. I said that before. We meet on 3 times a week, class meeting, Wednesday lab hours, Friday we do our virtual accountability check-ins. All of this information is available to you. Like I said, I put the information here in the PowerPoint, but then also it's available in your Canvas class. The first class is orientation. So don't miss the first class. Everyone from your team needs to come. We'll get you started. We'll get you rolling. And this class is about starting a company. All of the assignments that I give you are needed, are necessary toward starting a company. There's nothing in there that is busy work. There's nothing in there that I wouldn't do and didn't do when I was starting the REC or one of the many other startups that I started. And so if you ever are thinking, oh, I'm just not going to do an assignment, please bring that concern to me and justify why, so that I can evaluate if I'm actually right and maybe need to remove that assignment. But other than that, just do it, right? They're here to help you learn. And we spend a lot of time giving you feedback and helping develop these. So yeah, that's that. I hope you enjoy the class. If you don't have a team, we'll help you build a team. And you don't have to give up equity or anything like that, but you do need help. This is a hard thing, starting a company. So let's get you going. All right, everybody, we'll see you soon. Connect with me on LinkedIn on the RecConnect platform, and we'll get you some appointments, Wednesday appointments scheduled, get you going. All right, bye everyone, take care. And we shall see you soon. Bye.